LFOs produce change over time. For the LXR, that might be in the sound itself, or it might be changes in the pattern, as we shall see. The LXR has 6 LFOs, 1 LFO lives in each voice, meaning that's where you have to access it. But other than that, it's not really relevant because you can assign each LFO wherever you please. There's 2 pages to the LFO. If you just hit the LFO button, you toggle between those pages. What we've got here is the default project, an initialized kit. So we'll start with something very simple and work our way up from there. So let's go into the pattern generator, shift performance, hit play. This is the closed hat. Here's something very simple. We'll just get the bass drum doing something just for reference. Go back to the closed hat. There it is. Hit the LFO. Let's just get this one giving us a little bit of variation in the sound. So first thing to do is assign it. Assign it to voice 6 because that's the closed hat. Give it a modulation amount. Sync. So we'll just have it 4 times in a bar. And what we need to do now is give it a destination. What is it going to affect? Oscillator course. That's always a pretty obvious one. So it's happening 4 times in a bar, so that is going to be a boring sort of predictable thing that it's going to do. We can get it re-triggering. Voice 6 is the closed hat itself. So it's re-triggering from itself, which means really all it's doing is being an envelope, a very slow envelope, because the sync rate is 4 times in a bar. If we put the sync rate up to 16, it just means we're applying an envelope. That's a sine wave, and it's going to start with every hit. The offset is where the wave starts in its phase. The sine wave normally starts at the bottom, so if we put it about halfway, it'll start at the top of the sine wave and go down. Now again, we're not going to get anything interesting out of that because in effect all we've done is created an envelope. If we want to get something different happening, we'll need to change the waveform to random so we get a bit of a change happening. That's a big bit of nothing really. If we change the destination to one of the FM parameters, it's a bit more interesting because that's what's creating the hi-hat sound, is the FM. And because it is on the random wave shape now, it's not so much a standard repeating envelope because we've got a different shape on that envelope. Let's apply another LFO. Put it to voice 6. Destination. Let's have it on the decay. Give it a modulation amount. Give it a shape. Saw down. So now, 4 times a bar, it's applying saw down modulation to the decay. the hi-hat. In this case, because we haven't got much to trigger it from, we haven't got any other interesting patterns to act as the trigger, we'll go for a random wave shape. So that is a fairly pedestrian example of what can be done. Let's try something a bit more adventurous. Go into the pattern generator again. There's our bass drum. Just turn the volume down on that one for now. So we'll play with this second voice here. Start off voice 2, sync, four times in a bar, give it some modulation, wave shape, saw down, and we will re-trigger it from this. So this modulation is going to be triggering off voice 3. And the all-important destination, the always obvious oscillator course. Now, just by changing the sync rate, we can change the whole feel of what happens. So you can see we're sort of getting these grace notes because the decay of the sound is long enough that we are getting the LFO recycling before the amplitude has decayed away. We can make that more obvious. So we're hearing that LFO repeating. We can lengthen it out. And that is sort of interesting, but perhaps a little bit more interesting if we change the sound to noise. Filter down just a little bit. Maybe change the destination from oscillator course to filter. So you can hear now we're getting these extra little filter peaks caused by the LFO, but that effect will disappear if we shorten the decay enough, or at least become very subtle, because the LFO hasn't got time to re-peak from its actual hits before the sound has decayed away in terms of volume. So obviously the decay is an important one, so let's put another LFO affecting the decay of voice 2. So we use voice 1, it will affect voice 2, destination will be envelope decay, sync 1, wave shape, our trusty saw down, now the modulation amount. Now again, just by changing this sync rate, suddenly has a big effect on the whole sound. And this is one of the main dangers of playing with the LFOs. You can find yourself tweaking for hours. And we've only got 2 LFOs going. Let's take the LFO from here as well. So what we can do with this one. 4 times the bar. Decent modulation amount. It will target, whoops, it will be saw down. Toggle the page. Let's re-trigger it from voice 1. It will affect voice 2 and the all-important destination. For resonance. Let's check the actual sound. Okay. Back to LFO. So what we're basically saying here with the resonance is start high at the start of the bar and go down. Here with the filter, triggering off voice 3. Sped up the filter decay envelope. So suddenly now all these parameters are interacting in quite complex ways. Instead of this one triggering resonance, let's put it back to our old favorite. Let's try one more LFO. Let's have it on random. Effect voice 2. Now, what should the destination be? Yep, I've lost it. I have lost it. Once again, I veered off into La La Land for quite some long time. reminds me a lot of modular. Tweaking parameters, finding great stuff, moving a knob, and a moment later your wonderful thing has disappeared forever. And suddenly you can hit a knob. That's a bit better. So it's applying a steady envelope through the whole bar on the filter. That one's on the pitch. This one's also on the filter. So very, very easy to get lost in this stuff for a long time. But remember that what you've really created here is a kit. So let's save that kit, give it a name. So we'll call it SyncKit because what it really is just synchronized LFOs. We've got another empty pattern here. We can load up the kit that we just saved. It's our SyncKit. Go to the pattern generator. Put our basic 4.4 in. Go to this one, which was our more highly modified synchronized sound. Of course, it was programmed to accept triggers. From other sounds. So what we've really created here is just a synchronized drum kit, as in synchronized LFOs being re-triggered from other voices. So as you program other patterns, you're going to get a completely different effect, leading to hopefully some happy accidents. Until next time, see ya.